Matthew from Baton Rouge, Louisiana hit us up. He said, how fast of a turnaround could LSU have if they hire the right coach? Pretty quick. You going to hire the right coach? I mean, before you hire the right coach, I got to know how the operation's working down there. I said the other night, and I took some criticism for it, the LSU search hasn't even had a chance to really get started because there's been a mess behind the scenes and the public spectacle of the lawsuit. I don't care who's suing who, by the way. That public spectacle is really ugly. It's a turnoff for prospective candidates. Guys, I'm not guessing on that stuff. I'm right on it. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not just like spitting into the wind. Say, oh, I think I'll say this on the show tonight. So I am biased, pro LSU. So if anyone wants them to get their act together, I do. But you don't need to run to the message board and trash me just because I said something you don't like. You don't like that what was said was true. You should not like me. I'm just telling you the truth. So let's say they get their act together. I'm very hopeful they will. Look at my fingers crossed. I'm very hopeful they will. If they do, then yes, they could get turned around really quickly. Lane Kiffin, I know you see a lot of reporting on him. I know that there's a lot of speculation and this and that. Lane Kiffin, I think, will have an opportunity to have this job. That's what I think. I don't know that because no one from LSU has told me that. But I think he will. You get enough tea leaves sent your way that I think he will. Don't know if he's going to take it or not. Don't even know if he finds it the most desirable of the options that are going to be on the table for him. Let's just see how Ole Miss also chooses to handle Lane in the coming days. Because, I mean, I've got my theories on how I would handle it if I were Keith Carter, the AD there, which matters about as much as any other words coming out of my mouth. But if I were an AD, I got to have an answer, man. I can't just sit here and twist in the wind. So that matters. How LSU views Lane matters. How Lane views LSU matters. But whether it's him, whether it's Freeman, if you could get Freeman, that would be awesome. Or whether it would be John Sumrall or whoever it would be that's desirable enough to you, just remember the rules here. The rules are, this is LSU. When it's operating functionally, it is among the best, if not the best jobs in college football. I believe that. And regardless of whether you believe it, believe me when I tell you many of the names on that list believe it, and many names that aren't on that list believe it. Like even guys who aren't interested in coaching in college would tell you, if I was interested in coaching in college, that's the job I'd want. So we don't have to doubt whether it's an unequivocal upgrade from the place most guys are at if all the alignment is there. That's the only obstacle here. The only obstacle is in this day and age, in the modern day and age, it's not nearly as common sense a move to take the LSU job for guys that are in different positions than it used to be. It used to be you'd crawl over broken glass to go from having a job at Ole Miss to having a job at LSU or anywhere else. Now it's got to be an unequivocal upgrade. And if you don't have that alignment, there's all this infighting, perceptionally or in reality. If the political scene looks like it's a mess and you're the least bit worried about how it's going to play out down there, unlike years past, where you may bite the bullet on all that because of the resources LSU offers you in return, you probably got pretty good resources right now. If you're good enough for them to be offering you the job, you're probably at a place that you got pretty good resources at right now. So it's got to be an unequivocal upgrade. If it is that, if it has its affairs in order, yes, they can get that thing turned around. The other question I've had about this, we'll get back to the video 1 second. Do me one quick favor, look down, make sure you're subscribed. Most of you are. If you're not, please do so. It's the way we keep the channel free, we keep the videos coming, and we get to do college football year round as God intended. All right, as promised, back to the video. Number one, it's all about the staff you bring in with you. That's with any head coach. I don't care who it is. I'm caring more about the staff than even I am the head coach. And then number two, there are some people already in the building down there that are among the best in the world at what they do. You could be talking about Blake Baker. That's the defensive coordinator. You could be talking about Austin Thomas, who's the general manager. There are a lot of people in that building that any coach would be very blessed to have working alongside him. But that's not always the way it works. Like I've watched many coaching changes. I watched when Brian Kelly came into LSU, and quite frankly, he flushed some people in that building just for the sake of flushing them. And it was, I thought, handled very poorly. And since then, a lot of people have complained about it. But I mean, when you come in the building, there's some good people who are told to look elsewhere sometimes. And that's fully the prerogative of the future head coach. I just think the guy who walks in at Florida is going to have it the same way. There's some really, really high-level superstar-type people at Florida in their particular role that you might be best to just keep around. DeBoer did this some at Alabama. He brought in his, but he also kept some of those folks around. Why? Well, they were good enough to work for Nick Saban for a long time, so they're probably pretty good at what they do. Some of those people exist at LSU. So yes, like if you get the right guy, the right staff, the proper alignment, and the right people are kept on board and then meshed with the new people and new ideas that you bring in, yes, they could be right back to where LSU is supposed to be. Absolutely yes. There. I want to remind you of something, and then I want to tell you something. We're pretty deep into the show here. It's Thursday. So I always like to reward our Thursday crowd. Those are our diehards. I appreciate you guys. So I want to tell you a couple of things. Of course, the Pate State Store is rocking. We've had our best week ever on the Pate State Store. We've got our brand new 'Tis the Season line over there. Some of our first Christmas sweaters have started to arrive. So we put them on sale last week. They've started to arrive for people who ordered them. Haven't had a complaint. So PateStateMaterial.com. You'll see it as soon as you get there. But you know the other night, and this is the part where I want you to lean in. I want you to keep this amongst ourselves right now. You know the other night when I told you, I think we're going to have a live show. Can you imagine if we really did that, Jesse? If we really had a big live show? Let's just imagine to ourselves. It's, say, Atlanta, Georgia, the night before the SEC championship game in early December. And we have a big live show. Several friends of the show join us as guests. And we have it in a pretty sizable theater there in the Atlanta area. And let's just say that if you went to PateStateMaterial.com right now, there was a banner right up at the top where pre-sale was already available. Tickets were already available. Let's even say if you entered the promo code PATESTATE in all caps, no space, you got a discount on tickets. That would be crazy. It's all hypothetical. Just all hypothetical.